the topics that I will try to go through is a little bit about the Israeli third sector, the Branko Weiss Institute as a pragmatic idealism. The case of Branko Weiss Institute Evaluation Unit, the question or dilemma interior, that we stay in we are in the borderline. Sometimes we are exterior evaluation, sometimes we are interior evaluation. How to create and keep a dialogic evaluation, a going on dialogue, and evaluation as an organizational learning. Okay, some facts about, just to remind the frame of our discussion. The third sector is one of three or four. Now they are talking about the fourth sector, the public sector, the governmental sector, the business sector, the for-profit sector, and the third sector, the non-profit or governmental sector. And the example that Barbara gave about the social security ministry, this part, the funding of projects, the new projects, is part of it. Okay. The first sector consists of governmental organization, national and local, the for-profit organization, of course, and these are NGOs, NGOs and non-governmental and non-profit organizations. These are funded by taxes, these are funded by profit, of course, and these are funded by funds, governmental or private funds. And you could see, as Barbara said, that they provide services in health, education, immigrant absorption. In Israel, it's a big issue, as you know. We are an immigration country, social welfare, and culture. These are very big topics in Israel because of the complexity of the Israeli society and needs. Okay, the Israeli third sector has two primary roles: to replace or complement public services in such areas as health, education, as I said before, and they are primarily funded by the state. And also, voluntarily civil society organizations provide a framework for individuals to join together to address community needs, pursue their collective interests, participate in building society, and affect society change, which is a very main. But they are a major building block of Israel's democratic life. They are very, very important to balance and to overcome the gaps, the huge gap between the rich and the poor, the educated part and the non-educated, the periphery and the center of the country where everything is. You spoke about a future picture, to imagine how am I going to make a breakthrough, how am I going to become a contributing adult. They don't dare to dream of anything, and this is a very major part of, Okay, some figures, some facts about the third sector in Israel. Over 34,000 registered third sector organizations in Israel. Different sizes, some are small, some are bigger. An average of 1,500 new organizations, and they are registered annually. And this says something about the government behavior or decision making or policy that we lack. The government offices, we lack them in so many fields. So what happens, private people, private organizations or foundations, they start giving money or collecting money. It employs a tenth of the nation's workplace. It's big. Workforce, sorry. We are the fourth among 22 countries in the size of Israel. Okay? So it's really, really big part of what is being done in the public area. Okay, 84 of the sector economic activity is in the field of health, education and welfare. Public fundings in the third sector, main revenue source 55% of the third sector. So you see the huge involvement of governmental funds, which are not, they try to create a policy or something, but it's not the mainstream policy. Okay? And more than a quarter of Israel's third sector organizations receive government support. Okay. We face lots of social challenges in Israel, and part of them we described. Excuse me? This is suddenly you have an internet. It's funny. Okay. Extreme disparities between weak and strong social sectors. Israel continues to absorb new immigrants from different countries and cultures. You have to imagine I think 1.5 million former USSR, from former USSR, came to Israel since the 90s. Now we are 8 million. We had to absorb 1.5 million. So you can imagine what does it mean for policies, for the public money distribution, what is the agendas, and okay, so this is one part. You heard about the Bedouins. We have the very, very religious, very orthodox, that they are not part of the working force in Israel. They don't get proper education. They study the Bible, they study religious studies, that's it. Now it was a big thing, so again, you have to give money for that too. So so that's why we have so many organizations, the non-profit organizations, NGOs, in order to help the government to fulfill it. Okay, a change in the role of the family, loss of parental authority, which is a big issue also, and confused teenagers, their identity, their sense of belonging, and their sense of self-efficacy. Okay. Okay, the Branko Weiss Institute, this is Dr. Branko Weiss. He lived in Switzerland. He was a refugee from the fascism from Zagreb in World War II. He studied chemistry. He created or established a very famous technical institute in Zurich. He made a lot of money and he decided to share this money, but in a very special way. He decided that he won't just give the money, but he will be involved in what is going on and what is being done. And what he wanted to create an educational NGO. This is Branko Weiss Institute. It's situated in Jerusalem, which has been working with teachers, pupils in schools, in Israeli society, and in the demographic periphery. The idea is to enhance individual and social growth and to reduce educational disparities in Israeli society. You see the linkage between what we were talking, and we are dealing with the same objectives. Okay, so what was this institute built off? Pragmatic idealism, and you can see we work in the educational field. We have 6 comprehensive schools of 5,500 pupils, 14 schools for at-risk students. You see the difference in population because at risk they are very small. They are spread all over the country from, if you know Israel, from Eilat in the south up to the north in Golan Heights. So they are spread all over the country. Holistic individuals programs for 12,000 pupils. These are programs that we conduct for governmental or funders. We do the programs. Conduct the programs. Okay, thank you. And what we do also, we work with in-service teachers. We give them mentoring and supervision to develop the pedagogical abilities in a very special way that we believe in. I won't get into the programs, but you get the idea of how we are spread. And in Israeli society is small, 8 million, so we are doing a lot in this field of education. Okay. This was the pragmatic way, but this is the idealism way. How we have R&D department for pedagogical development. You see, we work on pedagogical literacy, mathematical greenhouse, how to enhance students for achievement in mathematics and science, writing-based disciplinary pedagogy, and also for manigut. How do I say? Leadership, school leadership. I'm trying to think fast, so I lose the word. And part of all of it is evaluation. Okay, the evaluation unit's object is to contribute to the Brankovic Institute aspiration for organizational learning and for ongoing improvement, while focusing on the organization evaluative needs. We are in interior evaluation unit, so first of all, our objective is for the organizational learning or development of the organization. To keep significant professional dialogue, trust and partnership among the evaluation unit staff, methodology experts, and educational staff, the subject matter expert, commissioners and stakeholders in evaluation process. And the last one is to contribute to the decision-making process from the R&D stage to the pilot stage to a wide implementation in educational field. Okay, you can see here an illustration of where the center of Earth, yes, the center of the world. This is evaluation unit, and we work with all these parts, you see, of the activities of the organization. Okay. You can imagine this organization. We have headquarters, the R&D, and professional development, and everything else. So we work. They make the decision. They are making the policy, the strategy of the organization.